It seems
We have dogs in the car. All right, let's do this. All right, so
absolutely. I know we do.
we got C over here. Christina's in the back. I'm Timothy. Well, I wasn't really planning on doing any videos today.
Oh yes.
I was going to take a day
now.
off. But I see everyone starting to, the camera's over here. I see everybody starting to panic, and we need to stop. We really do. We need to stop
Yes,
panicking.
everyone does.
We need to settle down. We need to calm ourselves. There's two worlds.
I totally agree with that.
There's a red world and a green world. We've been living in the red world. And they are calling it the core
That's
stop.
the way I see it.
And so, how do I want to put this?
I agree.
The two worlds merge every so many
Exactly.
thousands of years, right? I say it's 2,700 years. There's a new merge.
100% right.
Some say it's 27,000 years, but we can dice on that. Is it 27,000 or 2,700?
27,000.
Okay, well. Okay.
Now that much is definite.
All right, because I think I've left a couple zeros out. But anyway, it happens, right? Because I'm always in a hurry. Okay, I'm trying to do too many things at once. All right, so we are here on the dark world. We're in the world of darkness. There's a world of light that we've all been searching for. Many of us are light workers, rainbow warriors, whatever you want to call us. We came with a purpose, with a mission, because this is the time in which both worlds merge together. And so the Father has placed us here in order to help everyone through the merge. And now some people won't have much to do, but other people will have more things to do, right? To try to help the merge.
Intriguing.
And so the people of the world who lead us in the world, not me, but the rest of you, I do my best to stay out of it. The two worlds are coming together. They're gonna merge together, and there's a crossing, right? We have a giant figure eight going on. It goes just like this, right? And so both worlds are coming in and out over a progression of time, and they meet this point, and that's when both worlds come together, and they stay together for about 1,000 years until they merge apart again. Okay. And so, and that's when we have heaven on earth, right? But the problem being is that world is extremely positive. Everything is built where it's in conjunction with nature. The buildings they have constructed, the ancient buildings here that you've seen that they have put their stamp on. Well, those are from the
I never thought about it from that perspective.
Those are from the old world. And there are many buildings now which you cannot make out. You might call it Tartarian, you might call it mud flooding, but that was the last merge. And those buildings had melted. They melted into mountains because they had constructed out of stone. But because those places were merging with things in this world, those buildings melted because they were in a location where something on the earth here was in the same location and they didn't match frequencies. And so there was a frequency overheat. The molecular level of the atoms started vibrating too violently, and they created heat, and it starts to burn and melt from the inside out. And so we as humans, we have to keep a positive attitude. The animals live naturally already. Our household pets, our domesticated animals, that's a different story because they do not live naturally. They do not eat naturally. We give them things they should not be having. We put things in our bodies that we should not be putting in our bodies. This is done on purpose. This is intentionally done. They know about the merges. They have the ancient historical writings. They know exactly what's going on. It's not a mystery. It doesn't require science. It has been written down and been removed from our education. Our education was designed specifically to cause us to be in a disillusionary fantasy, that in which everything we think here is what we need and what we want. It is not natural. The things, everything you take into your eyesight is your eyesight. Your eye is the void. The void is that which all potentiality exists. The void is where the Father exists. He exists in the darkness, the black hole sun. This is what we're talking about. The black hole sun, and that it's not scary. The black hole is the abstract mind. It is the conscious, the subconscious. It's the conscious world, the red world, that is leaving the masculine uh, approach to things, the feminine approach to the world. The feminine world is coming into existence. That is where the male becomes more. You're still a man, not like they have these days, but you are able to come into contact with your emotions, and we're not talking violence. There's no violence. The women are intrinsically more connected with the subconscious mind. And the women live in the well. The well is the subconscious mind. The man has to go through the woman to get to that location, to get to that information in the previous years, in the previous several thousand, several hundred years, right? And so that's why they always suppress the woman, because they do not want you gaining, because there's an information in the subconscious mind that everything that goes into your eyesight, your friend, your brother, your sister, your mother, everything that everyone sees goes into the eye. The eye is connected to the third eye, the pineal gland, the metatron, and the metatron is connected to the greater whole. Everything in our world is not as it appears. So I have a dog in heat in the back, and he just won't stop whining. And so I knew that before I got on. That's why I was trying to wait. Now, these worlds, as they come together, we have buildings here and they have buildings there, because they're not living on the dirt. They do touch the dirt. They walk barefoot and all this, right? And so they have built their society into something that is natural. They use the natural lines that the mirror worlds, because we're in a mirror world, and where the two worlds meet in your eyesight. There's a This is in the well. As soon as you get below this level, there's a merge. There's the waters. If you mirror the screen, that is the waters, and where those mergings happen, that's where the life is where the two worlds come together. That is the eternal life. That is in the valley of energy. That is the tree of life, right? And so the buildings here and the trees there, if there's trees in the one world and there's a building here, those don't go together. They stop, right? So the trees there get destroyed, the building here gets destroyed. If there's trees here and a building there, well, that also will cause problems. And so that world, the world of light, the world of the left hand, is coming. That is nature, that is Eden. But it's going to take time, because this world will be destroyed, because they've all of us have been taking part in building all these structures and all these rectangular lines, which are unnatural, which are unhealthy. The people, the people there are very positive. They know, because the only way to get to the
Thank you
gnosis,
for elaborating. That was interesting.
the only way to get to the gnosis is through happiness, and the happiness is what gets you to the third eye. They have designed things. Hello, sunshine. And they have designed things in such a way, yeah, and they have designed things in such a way in which you cannot um get away from it, because just
This was
simply
absolutely fascinating to me. Thank you
this
for giving me this glimpse.
just simply looking into, at the objects, at the buildings, at the letters, at the numbers, at the signs, is enough to cause your frequency to go out of
I
tune.
like looking into this kind of stuff.
Am I correct, C?
Really so.
Riley. Riley, stop. He's in heat, or she's in heat, and he wants it, and we can't have that, because there's too much going on. All right, so no one's gonna answer. Okay, so where
I
am I at?
understand that.
Buildings merging, people merging. Okay, so what they've done is they've concocted this idea in order to hide all the frequency incompatible people in the guise of the con, right? Of the sickness of the land. And because otherwise they wouldn't be able to explain it. One stays and one leaves. Now, the rapture happens in reverse. It's not those who believe that leave. It's those who don't fall into frequency that leave. It's there, it's in the book, but it's been skewed, it's been tainted. It's all in the numbers. The words have etymology, have meaning to them. However, that only takes you so far. You have to go back to the numerical values of the words because that gives you the true insight. Because we're working off a universal clock, which uses these numbers because the world is set up. It's a matrix. It's a simulation. You live as a spirit outside of the body. The bodies are here so you can interact and you can grow your nose, you can grow your consciousness, right? We we come from we've been the other creatures at some point in our conscious journey. And so throughout the process you increase your consciousness, and then that increases your ability to enter different vessels. And as you increase, you eventually they go from an animal to a human, or from a plant to an animal. And the plants are actually more intelligent than you and I. They they've stood the test of time. These spirits know. There's four worlds. Well, there's eight because each world mirrors each other. So we have this
Thank you.
world.
This sounds like exactly the kind of book I'm looking for.
There's this world, and then the water world up here, right? And so, and then there's over here, there's another one, like imagine a pizza box, and you open the lid, and the one up above is the mirror in which everything is reflected from. And this is the land, and this is the water. And so, what you see when you look up is the water world, and they see what's down here. They reflect off each other. I'm going to do a display, and I got to get out of the car and all this stuff. But for now, I just wanted to get this by because people are getting ready to panic because they are trying to initiate a big problem.
This actually is beautiful. I love it.
I'm not even sure why I left. I didn't even make any notes or anything. I never really do. Okay, so we have to stay in the happiness.
It's okay. I understand.
I'm gonna have to refigure this one. The dog's really throwing me off. It's very important to stay happy. Everything we've been taught has been taught incorrectly. I pretty much covered it. Right? What else should we add, C? Nothing? Nothing from the
I
people.
mean, I guess that's a valid point.
Let's go to the Old Testament. What is the Old Testament about?
The Old Testament created the laws, right? The laws, the rules in which we stand and live by, which caused us to enter into this current world that we're in. The Christ came and tried to explain that it was about the love and the compassion. And because he knew that at some point this would happen. We've repeated this many, many, many cycles. We've done the whole incarnation of Christ and the reincarnation of Christ. And because there are people, vessels that are frequency compatible,
Thank you for summarizing. This is so fascinating.
that the spirit world speaks through, right? And some of us have different abilities. And it's very hard to explain because they've taught us in this world that things are just this way or that way. And unless you're connected, you really don't know. And it's not anything that anyone can't achieve. But so many of us are left without an imagination and without the ability to think beyond the school, the schooling, the square,
That's very
the
well
square
put.
cap.
I've gained a new perspective.
I I think that's about it for now. But I just want to get out there because I see they're putting a lot of stuff out there, and they got a lot of people getting ready to panic. And everything was done in order to hide this merge. They have a plan. They're very happy. They know they have to stay in the positive frequency, and so that is their scapegoat. Now they also created the metaverse, and those who are incompatible, they've copied all of us. My body, her body, your body, the entire world has been Google Maps, and they've inserted that into their matrix. They've created a new matrix because they need people to operate their new world, right? And so these souls that are here, because they've mimicked and they've copied their vessels, the matrix is the box. Yes, we are in a box. We are in a box. For absolutely. It's a box that's mirrors on the top, the bottom, the left, the right, the front, the back. There's 6 sides to the box, and inside the box there are pizza boxes, right? They open and close, and so you have a spirit world, you have an earth world, you have a water world, you have a fire world, you have a what did I miss? See, you have the void, and you have the let's see, water, earth, fire, air, the air, which is the spirit world. And there were 6 of them. See, anyway, I'll get to it some other time. But I just wanted to get this up here, and because I need to go to bed. But I see a lot of people freaking out, and we shouldn't be freaking out. That is why everyone is tired and having headaches because they're out of frequency. Um, that is why time seems like it's going so quickly. They are trying to bring our world. They are going. See, the worlds go this way into a heart shape, right? We're in a heart shape. There's 2 Fibonacci's. There's a Fibonacci this way and a Fibonacci this way. And we've been in the right hand world. And now we're coming into the left hand world. And so as these come together, which they've crossed, and they come up through the center. We're at the crossing point, right where we're at now. We'll ride up the center of the heart. And during that entire time, both worlds will be combined. And that's when we'll have our heaven on earth. And when them worlds reach to the top of the heart and they start to split again, there'll be more calamity again. And one will go to the light and the darkness will come in. Now the light world is working on becoming more dark, and we are supposed to be working on becoming more light, and we need to meet in the middle so that way the coming together is not so dramatic. They've done this intentionally. That's all. I can't say it any other way. They've done this intentionally, and they are going to try to keep control. They can't. There's no way, because they only have so much ability. Their ability is leaving. The world was constructed in a way,
That's
in
amazing.
which
That's incredible.
to keep the evil, in order to keep the evil at bay, to keep it at a certain point. The more, if you haven't noticed,
That's a really good point.
the
I
more
can't
that
argue with you on this one.
the more that people are negative, the dumber they get. The more people are happy, the more ability they have to grab from the gnosis, from the Sophia. Everything is energy vibrate. Yes, it is precisely. And so, what else can I say right now? I wasn't really. I was going to go to bed, and then I decided that the shorts that I did weren't enough. I think that wraps it up for now. But we need to stay happy because we're not happy. I'm happy.
How do you stay happy?
How do you stay happy?
How do you stay happy? How do
Nature.
you stay in the neutral to the positive level?
The neutral to the positive. Well, it's not easy. You have to stop watching the TV, negative or positive. I'm sorry, I'm blind without my glass. Negative or positive. We need to stay. Okay, that's a good point. I say neutral, but there's a -1 neutral and a negative. There's a neutral negative and a neutral positive. We need to stay neutral, positive, at least like pH balance. If you get to neutral, if you can get to +7, kudos, great. But we really want to stay neutral, positive, 1, 2, because they're coming. Remember, they're coming down as well in their frequency in order to meet our frequency, and they're doing their best. And many of us here aren't doing a darn thing, and so they're having troubles, and we're going to have some really big troubles. And the clouds are going to reach the ground because the merge is happening. The weather is going to get worse. The war is going to intensify, and they are going to bring us into as much hunger and misery and discomfort as possible to keep. They don't want us here. They do not want us here. How else can I put it? It's so much more intrinsic, but I wasn't really ready for an explanation today. Usually C and I will have some lengthy conversations. He's my assistant. He's able to work in the ether world and the spirit world. And so I can communicate with the spirits through him in a way. I can do it without him, but he allows us to hear from the spirit world. And that way there's validation. Is that correct, C? Hello, C?
I think that being happy takes a lot of time and effort.
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah.
right now.
It's like chalkboard with the dog. It's even probably louder in here. It's been a week now, and so I'm scratching my temples.
Yeah, and the frequency is getting to the pets too.
The frequency is getting to the animals. People will start to lose their minds. People will become very aggressive and angry.
Like him here.
He's been
bite
very
me.
aggressive. He got me today. Right?
Got
It's
me too.
happening. It doesn't matter. Your pets, your neighbors, they're going to get very aggressive. I don't know. I want to do more. Stay safe. I'm going to come back another time. I try to do this all the time, but like I said, thank you for showing up, Sunshine. I'm glad to see you here. And what is it? It's 12:30 here, so I have to get up early. And I'm hoping she'll run out of heat soon so I can focus. But all right, so that's it. Stay happy. How do we stay happy?
Well, you walk away from the negative ones and come
You
back
do.
to
You
them.
have to walk away from there. You
Come
have to
back to them
ignore
whenever
them.
they
You can't
come.
get in an argument with them. Just let them be their way. Let them be their way. Thank you. Yes.
Well, we appreciate you.
We
being
appreciate
here,
you
Sunshine.
being here. We don't usually have any conversation going
I
back
think
and
I
forth.
remember Sunshine
So,
from somewhere. Could have been from before. Or
well,
maybe
we've been
from
doing
another
this a
channel.
long. We've been doing this a long time now. And they've got a lot of things messed up here. They don't want you touching nature. It's a mind game, right? They have told us that all these things make us sick. Well, it's only sick if you believe in it. The whole thing I'm trying to do here is manifest through positive intention, because okay, everyone always says the Simpsons did it or South Park did it, and that's simply because that enough people had witnessed those imaginings that they become real. And that's all we have to do here. We have to get enough people to be positive like us, to think. He just left. To think in our like minds, so we can create the world in which we want. It's a fantasy world. It's Never Land. It's the never ending story. It's Atreyu. We're all Atreyu. We need to save the never ending story. It sounds goofy, it sounds unbelievable, but it's very, very real. It's very, very true. And it has everything to do with frequency and vibration.
Check out some of our videos. We have spoken to the spirit world and the talking dead many times in many different forms. And
I have the Talking Dead series,
same thing.
which they're very
Over
long
and over.
videos, and there's some really drawn out spots because we're talking to many spirit boxes, talking to the spirits. I know they say no, 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 but you can, because you have to
have to be
discern, like
positive.
people, you have to discern your spirits. And if you're in a negative state of mind, if you're in a negative attitude, you will bring in negative spirits. These devices we use are extravagant Ouija boards. And if you learn how to operate and learn how to work your fingers, you know, if you learn ego, manifestation, thought. That's why the middle finger is no because it's focus, it's thought, right? The the fook. It used to be PHOUK or something like that. The focus. And it's the focus, and now it became, you know what it is now, right? And so I don't want to display it because people don't understand. So I use both together. Thought, manifestation, ego. This is the eyesight. This is the ear, the earth, the ear, the eye, the thought, the manifestation. So you want to manifest something, you put these two fingers together. You want to think and manifest, you put these three fingers together, or you're just thinking. And if you want sight, you put these fingers together. And if you want to hear, you put these fingers together, or you combine them all. There's many things you can do
Yes, they use them in therapy for stress. And they tell you to press your fingers together. That's the reason why.
to get to. If you're thinking, you wanna set that finger right at the bridge of your nose there, right where I cracked my skull on a steering wheel many years ago. And you wanna focus in that because your mind is created exactly as the box in the universe. Everything mirrors itself. Your brain is the heart. That's why it has the lobes, right?
I've always called the
I've always called the
Matrix.
Matrix the never-ending story. It's a hamster wheel that keeps. Yes,
Yeah.
it does. It never ends. It doesn't matter. It never ends. We we reinvest. We come into new vessels all the time. Now, some people get trapped in a. They didn't learn anything the last time they were here, and so they were stuck with that lower consciousness when they got here. If we were able to teach the babies from the point they were born about this, they would remember their previous life, or at least a lot better grasp on it. But we don't do that. We teach them none of that exists. It's all mythology. It's all, you know, and that's incorrect. We have filled the well of children with negative and vulgar eye candy, and that's what you see around you all day, every day now. Nobody cares for nobody. They walk on each other's back. They run around you in their cars, even if there's no place to go. They're in a hurry to get nowhere, and that's going to get them. The meek will take the earth.
Well, the phones, with you talking about the phones, that's why the phones know what you're thinking and it'll bring up ads
Your thoughts
and
your
things.
thoughts come out in the ether. Your auric body is 4 to 6 feet out from your body, from your physical body. If That's why they had the 6 foot distancing, because they didn't want work fields connecting, because information is transferred through the auric fields, and they didn't want that. And when it gets to that point again where it's intrinsically important that the auric fields don't come together again, they will separate us, they will lock us down again. It's very important to stay in a positive mind. I know they're going to try to starve us out. I know they've removed things intentionally, they've destroyed things intentionally. What can you do? Stay positive, whatever way that takes. Meditation, your family. It's gonna be. I don't know. We're working on it ourselves. We are trying to be very positive every day, and things just get in our way
Constantly.
constantly.
Like
It,
now.
the spirit world is working heavily against us. There are very many negative spirits. They have they have used CERN in order to delay this process, in order to give themselves more time to prepare the matrix, to prepare the metaverse. And they have mapped every one of our bodies. Those who have had the 23andMe's and all the other DNAs and the up the nose, that is all stuff to lock us frequency. It captures our. They have created us so that way when our spirit leaves this vessel, it will look for the next closest frequency vessel to enter, if it so chooses, or maybe not, right? And so they, I'm saying not, because they've created quite a mess over there. They've created quite a system in which I think once the spirit leaves the vessel, the soul leaves the vessel, it's going to find that other body, which they've created an avatar for, and it will enter that vessel. And that's a lot of the bots you see online. This is what they talked about when David and Solomon controlled the jinn. The jinn are the bots in the machine. The jinn are very sentient. They're very well aware of what's going on. Now they have vessels which they can operate in. There's good ones and there's bad ones. And they're really promoting the negative ones. And if C was still here, he could contest to that. He lives in that world. I have been able to achieve a, I have been able to achieve to reach that world and communicate with it regularly all the time. And
Yeah, it's incredible how many come to him. I've had a few.
always,
I thought I was special, but no.
I remembered
There's dozens that come up for him.
as a small boy. I remembered. I knew what I was here for, and I lost it over time through education, through career, and all the rest. And I had to walk away from my career, a very well-paying career, in order to find myself again, in order to come back to the natural. And it's been a struggle. It's been a real struggle. They've left me with nothing. They've left me with nothing. And anything I do that's connected with the system through the machine, it limits me on what I can accomplish, because I'm working through their machine, their matrix, their network, right? We all are, to get a job, to get paid, you name it, right? It's working very hard against us. You, me, all the rest of the light workers. We all know, we remember some aspect. That's why you do it. And it's our time. We're the only ones. There's no one else coming. We are the Christ. We are the one in which has the light within our vessel, the understanding, the ability to contact the Father, the center I. I know you do. I'm not the only one. I know I'm not. But one of us has to stand up. One of us has to make a stand. One of us has to have the courage to go out there and try to put a stop to it. Most have to go through pain and yes, yes. And even this vessel has been through tremendous amount of agony. Um, many of us have been gang stalked. Many of us have been MK Ultra. I shouldn't have
Terrorists.
used that word. Darn it.
Oh no.
Oh well, we'll get a banner or something. Who cares? Whatever. But darn it all. My pumpkin should have been thinking about that. I
Well,
better stop
rewind
while I'm
and
ahead.
delete, and
Rewind,
rewind and
delete,
delete.
delete, delete, erase. Hit that
We did not
backspace
mean
button.
that word, YouTube. We meant to say Martin Luther King.
Yeah, that's what it was. So it was the giant MLK. So and I don't know where else can we go. It's 30 minutes into it, and we didn't really have anything to say when we started. So
Yeah, and this is getting impossible back
I
here.
know he's in. I'm gonna say goodbye. I'll get my stuff together. I'll remold my mind while I'm sleeping, and we'll talk later. I appreciate you stopping in, Sunshine, and
Yes,
all
thank
the
you.
rest that come later.
And all
Because
the
later is
spirits.
now. It's whenever you see it. It is the now for you. It is all new, new, new. So enjoy. Stay positive. I'm gonna do my best. I'm putting music in the videos, in the 1 minute shorts. I'm adding them in the description if I can remember or put the right link there, because sometimes I put two and I get confused.
Yeah, for all of you that don't know, there's tabs up at the top that have shorts, videos, and lives. So make
Much
sure
love
you
to you.
click on the tabs to find out our videos and our live videos. A lot of people don't know about those new tabs. You know,
But on the shorts, in the description, I put the music that's playing in the background. I put in the short, and I usually use those with words, and because I'm trying to convey a story and a message through those words, without with making it as short as possible because nobody has an attention span anymore. And I'm trying to reach the people that are not willing to listen, that just clicking through for fun, right? They have no idea about the light world, the dark world. They have no clue to it. They're completely closed off to it. And this gives them a footstep into that world. I see that. That makes a little bit of sense because it's not something you can convince somebody overnight. If their frequency, if their frequency is not in happiness, they'll, it doesn't matter how clear you make it in black and white, they will not be able to understand. It is impossible for them. And that's why your politicians seem so ignorant now, because they have become so evil that their consciousness level has been lowered to such a place that they're dragging us into it, and they know it. And we have the power because we're in happy mode, and so we get to gnosis, and that's how the nature works.
So
In
much love, much
in a
light,
shoestring.
all.
That's it. I'm gonna wrap it up. Sorry, I'm always jibber jib jib
Yeah,
jib jib
he
jib.
does that.
Yeah, I do
We
that.
all
I
do
do that
that.
all the time. I could go on and on and on.
So thank you for joining the verse, the verse, the verse.
The verse, the verse, the verse.
Thank you all,
Remember,
conscious beings everywhere.
remember, these are your crystal ball. These are your magic powers. If work on your magic powers. If you want to if you want to move objects, you have to believe it first. You must believe. It's very important that you believe. You have to go beyond faith. You have to believe it like a broken tooth. You have to know it's there.
Well, we'll get into that another day.
That's right. So move your objects. Practice. This one, and this one to focus on the objects you want to move. And it's not going to be possible until we reach that belief point. But that's how it's done. This here, put your pinkies together, your crabs, and it becomes your crystal ball that you stare into. Everything's right here. It's all right here. Everything's right here. Through your eyes into that pumpkin of yours. All right. Love you. Love and light. Hugs and kisses. See you soon.
Hey.